Hey all, good morning, good morning. Sorry, still starting late, still trying to work out all the kinky and quirky stuff on this computer and just getting everything prepared. It takes a little longer. I do apologize about that. I'm going to share screen, probably pull it back here. There we go. We're going to be discussing a lot of stuff. I'm trying to still find the video. I've got a whole notepad here of stuff that we're going to go over related to Don Wells and a conversation that was had. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So just wanted to make sure that we get started here shortly. If you guys haven't had an opportunity to go get your coffee, please go get your coffee, as this is the coffee club. So I want to make sure that everybody is having fun this morning. And of course, can't leave home without one of these Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club mugs. And one of our mods, ICU, got the 20-ounce tumbler. She says it keeps her coffee hot all day. So if you don't want to use a coffee cup and want to have a traveler, that's a great option for you as well. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. I'm going to let people start getting in here. I'm going to leave you guys just for one quick second. We're going to be going over the interview with Paola Miranda-Rosa's sister. We're going to be discussing, first, we're going to be discussing Don Wells. Don Wells' video. I've got to find it here, and then we'll be getting that pulled up. I should have tried. Actually, I forgot all about that. I need to pull that up now. Just a second. I just got to find it. I've got two computers running right now, so hopefully none of them fall down. I have a hard time. I still haven't figured out. Like I can share. I can now share my screen on the MacBook Pro. The problem I'm having now is when I hook up my hard drive, my external hard drive to it, I can't find my file folders yet. I'm still learning this new system. I've not used it before. It's a little crazy. It's a little crazy. So at any rate, I'm not sure how comfortable I feel with Dolly right now. It is my understanding he was hating on me. So I'm not sure if I feel comfortable with the promotion of him in the chats, just saying. I don't know how the others here feel about that. Please let me know how you guys feel. I don't want to be rude or anything like that. So I just want to make sure that that we have an open discussion and dialogue. Why is this not working? Okay, let me go grab my notepad and then we'll get back. Lots of stuff. And of course, we've got the probation officer's name and number. Don't want to flash it too much. There we go. Name and number. The call, Don Wells, probation officer. Many of you guys know that Don Wells is going to be going. That was my understanding. So I'll let you roll with it. It's not a big deal. I just want to make sure that it stays drama-free is all. That's my only thing. And I don't like promoting because I don't get promoted. I don't like promoting. Anyways, getting back to this, we got a whole laundry list. I even wrote down timestamps and everything of this interview with Don Wells. And it was the last day that we were there. That's why I do not like this old computer either. It's like I can't win for losing here. It's driving me nuts. Okay, there it is. Tell me this is the 8 minutes. That is not it. It's got to be down here. This one. All right, give it a minute. It's going to load up. So everybody, while you guys are here, please go get your coffee. I actually have my thermos pot completely full right next to me. So you guys get my face the entire time. And while we're waiting for stuff to load up, I did want to go over some things with you. A person, I can't remember, I think it's Scott H. I was received a notification to go watch the Scott H DSC or DCS. So I went over there, and of course the screen was blank, and it just showed like this little logo at the bottom. And but he went over a lot of great things. And he had this link to this paperwork. And what is this? This is the Tennessee Department of Children's Services Work Aid 1. This is CPS's categories and definitions of abuse and neglect. And I thought it was very interesting because many of you know I have been a strong supporter of Don and Candace being in jail for the past crimes that they did upon their children. And so, you know, thank you, V. That's exactly it. I just want to tell you guys all that, you know, my mods work very hard here. I appreciate each and every one of you, you know, and I appreciate all the viewers that come on. If you guys are not getting notifications for this show, please go out, change your notification bell to none and then back to all. If that doesn't work, unsubscribe and resubscribe. If you're already a member or a subscriber, it will not affect that status. If you are wrenched, it will not affect that status. So I definitely look forward to each and every one of you, you know, making sure that you guys are here and having notifications. We are still playing around with times to find out what times are best. Plus, I'm having some technical difficulties. So as I learn this new system, so I hope you guys bear with me as we are working very, very hard to try to bring new content and trying to learn a new system. So I have worked on Windows my entire life. So changing to a MacBook Pro has been quite the learning curve. I have to say, left to my own devices and trying to figure it out all by myself, I have been getting by. I will be seeing Olivia tomorrow. So she's going to, I'm sure, show me a little tricks of the trade that I can use. Good morning, everybody that's just tuning in. It is a great Wednesday. So let me see what I can do. I really want to get these calls. There we go. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Let me figure out which one's which here. Details are important. That's the one right there. Let's go ahead and open that one. Guys, we're about to get started. This is exciting. So I just gotta pause it. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing something. Oh, and we are going to be bringing awareness to other cases. I know I've been working with a lot of, you know, a lot of my supporters and stuff like that. Many that reach out to me and chat with me. Lynn reached out to me a while ago, and she knew that we were struggling trying to figure out, you know, which cases to work and stuff like that. It's hard to be the bearer of the picking and choosing the winners and the losers. It's sad, right? So, you know, she recommended, hey, maybe just bringing awareness, just showing them on your channel to bring awareness. And I thought that was an amazing idea. You know, at least, you know, we can't touch everything, but what we can do is utilize this platform to bring awareness to other cases that we can't, you know, dive into, can't look into, can't search for, or anything like that. So I'm very pleased to say that we've got a couple, I think much, I shouldn't say a couple, a few that we will be bringing to this channel this morning before we log off. But I did want to go over the paperwork. This is why I get so angry with TBI. Many of you guys know that Jonathan Lee Riches, aka JLR, did a little post. If I can pull that up, I can't remember. Go to his page and check it out. But it was about a woman in Georgia, and she reported her child missing. They did not play around. They seriously did not play around. They did an investigation. They found out there was abuse in that home prior to that child going missing. They went and arrested that mother. They arrested that mother for child abuse and threw her butt in jail. They didn't let her sit on the top of a mountain and party for the next 7-8 months. They threw her butt right in jail. And I'm sure through a pressure campaign by law enforcement, her knowing the gig is up, knowing that, she was going to be prosecuted no matter what, maybe tried to go easy on herself. I believe she told law enforcement what she did with the baby. The baby was over in one county. They did recover the child. And that's how you get things done. You don't let the people that are responsible sit on the top of a mountain and party and do drugs and do booze and, do these things. You just don't. That's not how you get things done. You apply maximum pressure all the time. That's how you get things done. Maximum pressure all the time. So I'm very disappointed in TBI. And here's why. Here is their governmental documents on, for CPS on what, these are just basically the definitions to help guide the agencies, help guide the employees. What are these things? What do they look like? And how can they be applied? So the very first thing here is physical abuse. Okay. It's physical abuse. The very first one. Okay. So that's pretty bad. So physical abuse. And this you got to understand, physical abuse can mean a number of things, right? It really can be a number of things. And, oh, Lisa, that's funny. Yeah. So any non-accidental physical injury or trauma that could cause injury inflicted by a parent, legal guardian, relative, or other person who is responsible for the care, supervision, or treatment of the child. Physical abuse also includes, but not limited to, a parent, legal guardian, caretaker, failure to protect the child from another person who perpetrated physical abuse on a child. So even if it's not the parent physically abusing this child, they are still responsible for protecting this child. And if they don't, it is considered physical abuse, right? Even the parent can be responsible for that. Injuries, marks, and or bruises that go beyond a temporary redness are in excess of age-appropriate corporal punishment, i.e. a bruise, broken bone, cut, or burn. Violent behavior by a parent or legal guardian, caretaker that demonstrates a regard for presence of a child or could reasonably result in serious injury, such as striking, hitting, kicking, punching, slapping, etc., a child in such a way that would result in internal injuries. Factitious disorder imposes on another person, which is FDIA. You guys should look that up. Formerly known as Munchausen by proxy syndrome. As many people know, throughout the years, Munchausen's, where the parent, hurts the child to get attention, takes it to the hospital, constantly is hurting the child, making up these weird allegations, poisoning the child, taking it to the hospital, saying the child's sick. Munchausen by proxy syndrome is well known and a psychological issue. So it is considered physical abuse and the child should be removed. So physical abuse should not be confused with the developmental appropriate discipline related to marks, bruises, and on the buttocks or legs of a child 6 years or older. 6 years or older. Many of you guys know Summer Wells was the age of 5 years old. Should not have experienced any of these things. For developmental and physical delays, past history of abuse or recent within the past year screened out report. So then what's the next one? So we can definitely say without a doubt that there was definitely physical abuse in this home. Physical abuse in this home. We have, witnesses from the convenience store saying that they've watched, Summer get shook and spanked for not being able to have candy, which again, she's got a loose front tooth. She's had bruises on her body. So the idea that this child had not been abused by one or both of her parents is the evidence doesn't show that. We have people firsthand knowledge of facts is considered evidence. Okay, so you've got people with firsthand knowledge, not hearsay, people that physically saw these things happen, come forward and say these things happen. That is evidence that can be used in a court of law. That is going in there under penalty of perjury and saying that you physically saw this going on. That is some of the best evidence you can use in the court of law. Okay, people have seen this. People have come forward. People have filed affidavits to this fact. So we definitely have child abuse. Okay, next, what does it say? Drug exposure, right? So drug exposure could also, again, this is the work aid for CPS categories and definition of abuse and negligence. These are chargeable offenses and purposes of which they can take a child out of the home. So drug exposure, this allegation pertains to a person under the age of 18 years old who, one, has been exposed or experienced withdrawals from use, sale, manufacture of a drug or a chemical substance, including but not limited to alcohol, such as diagnosis of fetal alcohol syndrome, cannabis, hallucinogens, stimulants, sedatives, narcotics, methamphetamines, heroin, inhalants that could adversely affect a child's physical, mental, or emotional function as a result of actions or behaviors of the parent or caregiver. Has a parent or caregiver that uses drugs, chemical substance that impacts their ability to adequately care for a child. Why is this important? First of all, we know that Candace gave Hunter alcohol. We know that she most likely smoked marijuana with Hunter. We know that Don Wells, we have eyewitness testimony, again, firsthand knowledge, the best kind of evidence you can have. Talking about Don Wells smoking marijuana with his 11-year-old son. Again, more evidence. This is called evidence, folks. Okay? So we have parents calling law enforcement to get their children from their house. We've got reports of that. Incident cards where officers physically had to go up there and get the children to give them back to the parents because the children were drinking alcohol. Yet law enforcement didn't arrest Don or Candace. So now this was years before CPS was even involved in this household. So these should have been triggers that got CPS involved in this household long before that. Okay, long before that. Then we have parents and caregivers that currently have addiction issues, which this is widely known that both parents have methamphetamine addictions and alcohol addiction. This is widely known. Nobody can dispute it. Actually, even the opposition to us saying that they're responsible for their daughter's death and disappearance have acknowledged that, yes, babe, yeah, they had alcohol and drug problems. So what? It's illegal, folks. I mean, there's these children. It's a chargeable offense. You can't have children. And furthermore, officers and workers have gone into that home while Candace, it's well documented, while Candace was passed out in a chair. And they wouldn't arrest her because she was in her own home and able to do. No, she's not. Not under Tennessee law. She is not allowed to be passed out with young children running around her home. Law enforcement. So law enforcement clearly is not doing their job and not doing a well job. Now, the reason why I'm exposing this, I love law enforcement. I back the blue. But when I start seeing such egregious behavior from the top down, it's irritating and it makes me frustrated. It makes me frustrated. So, note, The manufacturing of methamphetamines where children are present in close proximity is always considered severe abuse. Infants born with a diagnosis of fetal alcohol syndrome spectrum disorder, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, FASD, is always considered severe abuse. Infants born with a diagnosis of neonatal abstinence syndrome, NAS, where the diagnosis is not based on the mother's prescribed or appropriately following medication assisted treatment, is always considered severe abuse. Okay, so now we have evidence of physical abuse. We have evidence of drug exposure, multiple evidence of, so it's not just one concurring child abuse, concurring exposure. Now we're going to go into the next one, negligence. So now, out of the two definitions and categories of different types of abuse that CPS look for, out of so far we've hit 2 of 2. So it's 2 to 2. It's not 2-0, it's 2 of 2. Now we're going over to neglect. Failure or refusal to provide necessary food, clothing, shelter, education as required by law, medical treatment, supervision, and other supports necessary for the child's well-being based on age and developmental stages of child. Neglect includes environmental neglect, a living situation either inside or outside the residence that is dangerous or unhealthy. This situation described can cause harm and significant risk of harm to the child in the home. The child's age and developmental status is considered when evaluating the impact of the environmental conditions of the child. The following are some examples of environmental situations as they relate to a child's age and developmental status. Leaking gas from stove and heating unit. I don't know whether that's happened, so I would say probably not. Substance or objects accessible to a child that may endanger the health and safety of that child. I would say absolutely, hands down, yes, that house was atrocious. Broken or missing windows. I don't have enough evidence to determine that that's the truth. Structural hazards such as caving roofs, hole in the floor, or walls. I'd have to say that is a fact. There were holes in that wall. Exposed electrical wires. I don't know 100%. I can assume that that's probably true, but for the sake of argument, we will take that off as saying, okay, maybe they didn't have any exposed wires. Children lacking clothing, so they are dangerously exposed to elements, not having shoes or warm clothing for the winter. Shoes were an issue. No, I see you. First, no, I don't know. I don't know about that. Sorry, guys. Let me get back here. So don't know about the exposed wire. Definitely clothes because we never seen her. Her shoes were way too big for her body. Excessive garbage, yes. Rotting or spoiled food, yes. Which threatens the health, yes. Evidence of human and animal waste in living quarters, yes. Insects and rodents, yes. Lack of inability to obtain appropriate hygiene, which threatens the health and well-being of the child, including being refusal to allow a child to bathe. Yes, 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 and yes. That's only one page of this. We still got more. So we definitely show that there is child abuse, physical abuse. There is drug exposure. There's definitely multiple elements of neglect. Nutritional negligence. Now, many of you guys know all she did was every now and again throw a frozen pizza in the oven for summer and most likely for the boys. Apparent legal custodian caretaker failure to provide adequate nutrition to a child. Nutritional negligence occurs when a child repeatedly experiences hunger for hours or a large part of the day and no food is available. If you remember even the day of question in which Summer disappeared, Not one time did they stop for food for that child to eat. A Slurpee is not food. And no food is available. These behaviors may include begging from neighbors for food, eating out of garbage can, consistently stating the need for food. I'd have to say that child was hungry. It is more severe form. Nutritional neglect is a failure to feed a child that results in poor growth, which may include the child's weight, height, and head circumference falling significantly below the growth rates of average children. Malnutrition and non-organic failure to thrive. We know she was malnutrition. We know she was underweight. We know she was not meeting the growth charts. Even when we were discussing the other child that was out there, I want to say in Texas, they kept saying was, 3 years old, and we look at the growth chart and realize that she's 5 or 6 years old. And people said, look at the comparison between this girl and Summer, and even the opposition would be over. And it's like, well, we all know Summer was malnutrition. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So, we know that she was not being well taken care of. So we now have multiple elements of neglect. So medical neglect, a situation in which a child does not receive adequate health care, resulting in actual or potential harm. Medical maltreatment applies to procedures or treatments that a physician or other medical professional deems necessary. Medical neglect does not include elective health care or treatment. Medical neglect may rise to the level of severe abuse if the absence of medical care endangers the life of the child or is likely to result in severe impairment. The reason why I bring this up is because we have eyewitness testimony. Again, the best kind of evidence that you can have is a person that saw this stuff with their own eyes and willing to go on the record under penalty of perjury. Some of the best evidence you can have is eyewitness testimony. We have Allie, Hunter's mom, come forward and state that, she watched in her own house, that she watched, I believe it was Josie, injure his foot so bad that they had to wrap it. He needed stitches. And she told Candace that she needed to take him up to the hospital to get him stitched up. And Candace refused to take that child to the hospital to have him stitched up, refused medical attention all the way around. Instead, decided to wrap his foot and take him out of state. So that is a good example of another level of neglect that these parents have perpetrated upon these children that they should be held accountable for. And TBI in Hawkins County, once again, lets them slide by. And it's very, very frustrating. The next kind of, so we have, let's just go through here again, just so we can keep everybody that's joining in. We're going over this right here, a Tennessee document related to what kind of a child abuse there is. And we already have eyewitness testimony that can adequately state for the record under penalty of perjury that there was child abuse, physical child abuse there, drug exposure. We have multiple people on the record about the drug and alcohol exposure inside of that home. And now we are on neglect. So far, we definitely have environmental neglect. We definitely have nutritional neglect. We definitely have medical neglect. Now let's keep moving on. For those that are just now joining, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this page. But we are going through these categories. Then we will get on to a interview, a phone conversation with Don Wells here in the near future. Just stay tuned. We are working through this today. We are also going to be discussing Paola Miranda-Rosa's case and also bringing light to several other cases that we're unable to assist with. So educational neglect, repeated failure of a parent or legal custodian caretaker to meet a child's educational needs. This allegation applies. Children legally mandated to, in an educational program, 18 years of age, when applying, child legally mandated in an educational program through 18 years of age. So they're saying the children need to go to school until they're 18 years old or sooner. When applying this allegation to a child 12 years or older, it should only be considered after the inability of the school to engage the parents for legal custodian caretaker to improve the child's school attendance. So that's for children. I haven't quite, Summer wasn't old enough to go to school yet. So I don't know, it would really come down to the boys if the boys had lack of education. I don't believe that was the case. So I think out of everything that we have covered, that maybe this educational neglect might not apply here, but let's just keep going. Parent or legal custodian caretaker failure to enroll a child in school or failure to register a homeschooled child with the Board of Education. This allegation is not appropriate for reports of children who are willfully refused to attend school. The allegation is not appropriate unless the school has demonstrated attempts to correct the situation under the 3-tier progressive truancy intervention plan attendance policy 6200. So, yeah, I would say that the educational neglect at this point was probably not applied here. I don't think it applies here at all. From the best of my knowledge, I do believe the boys were going to school. Obviously, Summer was not of age to go to school. I think she was supposed to be going to school. This past August or September was supposed to be when she started going to kindergarten. Thank you, V. Yes, we need more likes, share, and subscribes, please. For those that would love to join us as a member, your membership is actually just a monthly contribution to help us continue to do the work that we do. We are a 100% viewer-sponsored channel, and we travel. We have expenses. So for those that are feeling gracious, please either donate to down below the rolling stream. We have Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. You can also help by using super stickers and super chats here. And we have a merchandise site. If you want to get some swag, some Bullhorn Betty swag. Lastly, if you're feeling gracious, don't want to do any of those things, we do have an Amazon wish list. I am purchasing the majority of the big items. I do have some angel donors that do send to help work on that list. It is just for crowdfunding purposes. All money that is collected in the PayPal account, 100% of those funds collected in that account go directly to the wish list items. So as we crowdfund for those. So the next aspect of this is lack of supervision. Failure to provide adequate supervision by a parent or legal custodian caretaker who is able to do so. A lack of supervision allegation or determination means that a child has been placed in a situation that requires actions beyond that child's level of maturity and physical ability and or mental ability. I can say yes. We have eyewitness testimony, again, hard factual evidence, eyewitness testimony under penalty of perjury. Even law enforcement has documented the fact that their mother was passed out. That is lack of supervision. That is lack of supervision. Caretakers inadequately supervises a child. The caregiver is with the child, but unable or unwilling to supervise. That goes directly into her being passed out on that chair, not watching her child, which had a house filled with crap, a yard filled with crap, and they can, without a doubt, most definitely injure themselves. So we have definite lack of supervision. So far here on the list that we have covered, we've proved, and there is, and law enforcement has this information, by the way. This is not, Bullhorn Betty proves this. I mean, they have documentation. TBI in Hawkins County has actual documentation supporting these facts. CPS has documentation supporting these facts. Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Supporting these facts. Okay, folks? So we've already hit physical abuse. We've already hit drug exposure, negligence in multiple facets. So environmental negligence, nutritional negligence, medical negligence, lack of supervision. Let's keep going, folks. Any registered sex offender residing in the home with unrelated minor or victims of offenders and or caregivers knowingly residing with and or allowing children to be unsupervised with the registered sex offender. Listen, I don't know if these people, we heard that these people were that there were some sex offenders in that house. Do I know that for a fact? I do not. I can honestly say that we have eyewitness testimony to names. I have not had an opportunity to compare those names to sex offender websites, to sex offender, orders and things of that nature. So I can't conclusively say that C applies here. I can't. I can allude that it could apply there. It is a possibility. It is possible and probable, but I cannot confirm that. And I want to make sure that I'm very clear on that. I cannot confirm that there was a sex offender in or around this home. What I can tell you is we did find out that the neighbor down the road, his son, was a sex offender. His son had hundreds of child pornographic materials. That I can tell you. But was that boy at that house? I can't confirm that. There is no evidence of that. But we all heard. Hello, my friends from around the world. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. For everybody else, while I'm reading through this, I'm not really paying attention to the chat. There's a lot of great information that my mods are making sure that they add to this chat. I behoove you guys to make sure you're watching the chat line. We are covering quite a bit. There's a lot of great information. I want to again thank my moderators for doing such a great job this morning. So now we're going on to other categories of neglect, and this is abandonment. Deliberate absence of a parent or other legal guardian caretaker for an extended period of time with no plan or provision of the child's care may include abandonment of the child in its own home, in a daycare, or in an institution, abandonment of the child in a car, on a highway, or in a public place. A child left in a car or in the care of a child left in the care of a suitable caregiver without proper planning or consent. The caregiver leaves the child but does not return when scheduled, or has a history of leaving the child without providing essential care such as diapers, formulas. That I can say probably most likely applies. Do I have it? I don't know if abandonment. So out of all the categories, I think 2 of the negligent tiers do not apply in this case. But every other tier so far at this point, they have well documented firsthand knowledge, i.e. evidence of these facts. TBI has them, as well as Hawkins County, and still yet no charges against these parents for any kind of child abuse, any kind of child neglect, any charges. Okay. And in addition to that, they're beating the crap out of each other. They still can't seem to keep the law enforcement off that hill. Sick. Sexual abuse categories. I am not going to go through this because I'm just going to tell you up front, we have no, we can allege that there is sexual abuse in that home. We can allege that, but we have no proof of it. Okay. It's just an allegation. There is absolutely no proof of sexual assault for any of the children here. I can tell you, with the doors being, just spinning with people coming in and out, them having, that Jose, Andy, and God knows who else in and out of that home. No doors blocking, no bathroom door installed. We've heard, and Don Wells himself has acknowledged and admitted to sleeping with Summer naked, both being naked. Okay. We can put, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We can definitely, that's from his own words. So I don't want people coming and saying, how dare you? He said it, not me. We're going to get, and for those that don't believe me, I believe Jonathan Lee Riches has posted something on his site with that portion. And we're going to get into a video here in just a little bit as I make my way through here. So I want to make sure that, and then there's this commercial exploitation of a minor, which means basically that they're selling the child for drugs. Has that happened? Again, it's possible. We have no evidence to support those facts. I want to be very, very clear that there is no evidence supporting that this child, Summer Wells, was sexually assaulted or abused. We have no evidence of that. Again, she disappeared as CPS was getting, or DCS was getting involved in this case. So would those allegations, would those things have come out? I don't know. Did it happen? I honestly don't know. I can honestly tell you in my heart, I pray to God that it didn't happen, but Don and Candace are sick people. Um, Jonathan Lee Riches posted a video. You know, he does kind of short videos, and I kind of do the lives and longer videos, so to speak. And you know, he posted this video of Candace laying on the bed with Hunter. And many of you guys don't know, but she's up there caressing it. She looks like she's blitzed out of her mind, and she's up there just caressing his head. It was sick. It was sick. It was it to me was not appropriate. Child abuse, sexual child abuse. I believe if anybody was sexually child abused that can be proven would be Hunter. I think that law enforcement really needs to look at Hunter and find out a little more about that relationship between him and Candace, because I'm telling you, that was not natural. It gave me the EBGBs. So sexual exploitation, runaway, large amounts of cash, da 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 da. I don't think that was a case. So I want to. So psychological harm, a repeated pattern of caregiver behavior or extreme incidents that conveys to a child that they are worthless. We have heard time and time again, Candace, and this is firsthand knowledge, again, evidence, firsthand knowledge under oath, under penalty of perjury is evidence. Repeated pattern of a caregiver or extreme incidents that conveys to a child that they are worthless. How many times have we had people come forward and say that Candace repeatedly said that she never wanted children? She doesn't even like kids. She does not want girls. This is all firsthand knowledge. These are people that heard that come out of her mouth, telling these children that information. So that first sentence, without a doubt, is true. There is enough evidence to support, enough eyewitness testimony, i.e. evidence, to support that allegation. Neglectful behavior when age-appropriate action is required for a child's health and development. When a child is shown no affection. As many of you guys know, Summer, on multiple occasions, we've witnessed it with our own eyes through videos. She was starving for affection. We are watching a church. This again, eyewitness testimony. This again is physical proof. It was on video. And this is just one example of Candace passed out in the church, her child running around like a heathen, climbing over anybody that is willing to give her the time of day to hug on her and love on her. I'm not going to go any further with that. There's definitely enough evidence for psychological harm. Domestic violence. Domestic violence is on here. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Domestic violence. It's right here. So let's go over this list again. Let's go over this list again, right? So no, this is not Andra. This is not Bullhorn Betty's evidence. Okay, this is evidence that Hawkins County and TBI have in their possession, custody, and control. Not Bullhorn Betty. TBI and Hawkins County. I want to make sure that we are clear. They have evidence of physical abuse. Multiple allegations, multiple evidence of child abuse, physical child abuse, drug exposure, multiple allegations, multiple provable allegations that they have of drug exposure, negligence, multiple tiers of negligence, multiple tiers. Hawkins County and TBI have proof of these things. They physically have proof right now, today, of every single thing I am speaking of. Multiple tiers. Negligence, environmental negligence, nutritional negligence, medical negligence, lack of supervision. Multiple tiers of negligence. Multiple tiers. They have proof of that right now. Again, this is not Bullhorn Betty's proof and evidence. This is evidence in the possession, custody, and control of Hawkins County and TBI right now, today. Psychological harm category. So out of all these categories, we're on E, right? So we're on what, 5 different levels. And out of the 5 different levels, we've only excluded 1. Now we're going on 6, which is domestic violence. And out of 6, we've only excluded 1. Is there any more after this? Child death and near death. And I think that photo speaks volumes. I'm not going to go in through, well, what the hell? Excuse my language. Acts of violence, coercion, intimidation against a parent or caregiver by an intimate partner. Multiple counts of that. And you know what? They have this in their own police records. They have evidence from their own police officers. They don't even need additional eyewitness testimony, but they even have that too. And we're talking about Hawkins County and TBI have in their possession, custody, and control, evidence, witnesses, everything that they need to arrest these people on these charges and have chosen not to do so. And I'm not going to show that photo of Summer Wells on here, but many of you know which one I'm talking about. It is the photo of Summer Wells where she is, where she has, the purpling of the cuticles, the swelling of the hands. It shows that she was in the process of dying or already dead. I have spoken to many, I should say, yeah, I'd have to say many. I mean, I would think 6 or more doctors, RN, LPNs, and EMS people, folks, multiple, and have talked to them about the picture. And, I just show them the picture and tell me what they've noticed. I don't walk them through what I think. I ask them for their opinion. So they get a photo. I say, please review this. Tell me what you think. And they get back to me. And I got to tell you, every single one of them have hit on the same exact thing. And this was done a lot sooner, into this process. I didn't do it just recently. This was done a lot sooner into this process. And they've all come up with the same thing, that she was they believe she was in the process of dying in that photo. So they didn't even allude that she had already expired. She was in the process of expiring. So, Sharon, I don't know why they're not both in jail either. I really don't understand why they are not in jail. It is very irritating to me. And especially, and I'm going to start pulling the laws in Tennessee about domestic violence too, because I have a funny feeling their laws in Tennessee are similar to the laws here in Florida, where somebody should be going to jail, one or all. And I know that there was a big sweep, I can't remember, I want to say in the early 2000s, maybe mid 2000s. No, it was early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s, where they really did, some major legislation for domestic violence that swept the nation. So I'm pretty sure that domestic violence laws are in place in Tennessee, and they're not being followed by Hawkins County law enforcement. Again, we back the blue, but this is starting to become so ridiculous and so egregious on law enforcement to keep letting these people out and thinking that the public is so stupid. I mean, seriously, we're not stupid, Hawkins County. TBI, we're not stupid. There's more that can be done, and you're not doing it, period. And if you're sick and tired of hearing people like me talking about people like you, get off your duffs and do something. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. We're tired of it. The whole world is watching, and you guys look like fools. You have egg on your face. And every time Hawkins County has to go up to that mountain for abuse, and they just drive off away and don't even, like, Don Wells, listen to this. So Don Wells threatened people that he has a gun under his bed. People are actually concerned for the well-being of people in and around Don Wells. He's a violent man. His history shows he's a violent man. Hawkins County doesn't want to get off their duff and go out there. It's not worth their time. There's nothing that irritates me more than law enforcement irresponsibility. That is irresponsible of law enforcement. Is Hawkins County so much of a hunky bunk town that you don't realize you can have real damages? If he went out and killed somebody, your department would be held financially liable because you were warned and didn't take the warning seriously? You don't get to pick and choose which calls you go out on and which calls you investigate. Ronnie Lawson is a disgrace to the badge. He's a disgrace to his badge. Exactly. Yeah, maybe. What we're going to do is just keep exposing. I mean, you guys read this. I mean, we've seen the videos, each and every one of. There's no disputing this. We've seen this with our own eyes, folks. We've seen this in the video, primarily Chris McDonough, right? The majority of this stuff, especially the environmental stuff, has been proven from Chris McDonough's own videos, right? So, I am just a little frustrated with the process, I have to say. With this process, it doesn't make sense to me. So now we're going to go on. I am going to, it's 43 minutes. I may lose some of you guys during this process, but I am going to play this entire recording of what I have. Okay. We were having it was late at night. It was like, 11:30, 11 o'clock at night. My phone, as many of you guys know, this last trip to Tennessee, I couldn't remove anything from my phone. I was having technical issues all over the place. I'm trying to get cards in the GoPro so I could use the GoPro. The GoPro's getting hot as heck. I've got, I was trying to use this. Jonathan was holding that. I'm holding the GoPro. Jonathan's trying to hold his phone in addition to this. Olivia's got her phone. Everybody's phone at this time of night was just having some major issues. We didn't get the entire conversation. It's got to be really seen together for this, but I want you guys to watch this interview. I'll leave it at that. We're just going to watch this interview. I can't recall if it was on my phone or on the GoPro. I believe it was on my phone because it's playing on here. And then we're going to, I've got a bunch of notes on things. So it's 43 minutes long. And I got a bunch of notes here on little places that we are going to want to stop and discuss. But I think I'm going to go through, let you guys watch it first. And then we're going to come back and hit on some areas that are of concern, to me. I may stop it throughout this. It looks like things don't get heated up until about 20 minutes into this video is when things start getting heated up. So but I don't want people saying that we glossed over this or we glossed over that, because we will get that. If I don't play what I have in its full form, we will get that kind of stuff. Yes, for all the new subscribers, there is a 5-hour wait time. So if you guys are legitimate subscribers and want to be part of the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club, please stick around. You will be able to start commenting tomorrow. I never stay online for 5 hours, so you will be able to start commenting tomorrow. We're sorry about that. We have to do that because of issues in this chat room with trolls and gaslighters. So I hate even bringing that up because it just seems to cause the problem to get worse. But for those that are new here, that's the reason for this, the 5-hour window. You are more than welcome to comment. It will always be 5 hours. Please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. I do apologize. We will come back to this video tomorrow for those that didn't have an opportunity to comment. I'm happy to answer your questions tomorrow at, oh, wait a minute, tomorrow We're not going live. We're not going live tomorrow, folks. I'm going to be traveling. We're searching. We're doing a search tomorrow and Friday, and I've got some other stuff coming, rolling out as well. So it's going to be an exciting day. We will probably go live from our search area if I have internet, at least for a small portion of the time, so you guys can take a look at what we're doing. Again, this does cost us real money. It costs us gas. It costs us time. And I can tell you, this terrain, if you guys go back and watch the video of the search area, the terrain is rough. It is horribly, horribly rough out there. We've decided to go ahead and get an Airbnb for 2 nights. So because it's a 2 to 3 hour drive from here. So it cuts out 6 hours a day, and it doesn't give us a lot of time to search. So we opted to get an Airbnb in the area. If anybody feels philanthropist and want to contribute to the Airbnb, please do so. We are very much appreciative, and thank you very much for that. Getting on with this, we will be out. So tomorrow, Friday, and most likely Saturday, I will not be live. I think our next live will be on Sunday. I want to make sure everybody knows that, we try to bring this coffee club. I've had some people, you guys can see in the community section, some people are a little upset because, I'm not live. I go a few days without being live. Many of you guys have to understand that when we work, we work. We are not, my job is not sitting here at home. Okay. It's not sitting here at home and talking to you guys. My job is out there in the field, looking for these people. At the end of the day, they are my first priority. Not that you guys aren't important, but the victims are the first priority. Okay. You guys are second. I hate saying it like that because I love you guys so much, but in the grand scheme of things, that is the truth. It's the victims and the victims' families in most cases that come first. You guys are the audience. You guys are our help. You guys are part of the team. You help us, sleuth. You help us with a number of things. And we are very gracious for that. We are very gracious for that. Is Olivia in here? Oh, it's Olivia B. Okay. I thought I was my Olivia. Good morning, everyone. So, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and roll with this conversation. It was with Marissa on the phone with Don Wells. We were recording it. It was late at night. Many of you guys know that she was on a live. She got a phone call. The whole house was up. We had officers coming into the house. We were trying to record. There are portions of this recording that I need to find. I can't seem to find everything related to this one, but this is the main portion of this call. These are the ones that I actually have the notes on. I do apologize. It's going to be a long video, and it's going to be a long video, but I will try to stop it so I can start preparing you for the stuff that we're going to be talking about. Okay. So stay tuned. It is coming up now. Are you guys able to? Are you guys able to hear that now, or no? Oh, I see what the problem is. All right, let me start it over. Sorry about that, guys. Anyways, this first part is about the dogs. Remember, somebody was saying, oh, they tried to kill the dogs, blah, 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 blah. No, we didn't. And he also acknowledges right here that supposedly these aren't even his dogs. We'll see. Okay. I think I got it now. Let's try it now.
A lot of food to that church, and that and it's for Candace and Jill, and we donated the dog food. I don't know why, they're saying that I made the dogs sick. I thought your dogs were beautiful. I do. I don't.
Man, them are just stray dogs. You know what? We had really good dogs, and motherfuckers steal the good dogs and leave their strays here. Man, there's many a time we've had people just drop off old ass dogs and they're dying. We take care of them until they die. Shit, they take our good dogs. I mean, like good breed of dogs. I can't remember what kind of dogs they were, but they don't disappear. Anytime we get a good dog, it's a high breed, they steal them.
Like the pretty ones.
They just drop off their butts and shit, man. And none of them dogs are ours. None of them. We feed them. That's all we do.
So you did go down there and take the dog food and stuff?
Yeah. What to say again?
So you did go down there the times that, we left the food for them?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you did.
We have a bunch of dog food up here. We leave an open bag up here under our awning so that they can eat anytime they want.
Mm-hmm.
Man, we ain't trying to do right. We ain't trying to. Believe me, man, I miss my daughter with all my heart. I really do. I'd do anything to have her back.
I know.
But, we live in an evil world. We live in a very evil world. And it's hard for each one of us, you, me, to keep our feet out of the evil and try to stay right with God. It's tough. Every day it's a battle.
Hey, Don, is Candace around? Can we talk?
Well, she's asleep right now.
Okay, so we can talk. Good. All right,
Yeah,
so
she passed out up there. But,
I just was really honestly the other night when we were here, and I guess you forgot that you invited me to come up there. I was gonna go. I was gonna go there. No camera, no phone.
You did that shit at the church. It was like, man, I told you, I tasted you. Since you done that, man, I can't have nothing to do with you. You can't be trusted. Man, you gotta show some ethics.
Okay.
Show some ethics. Show some respect.
I will. I'm
You gotta
sorry.
prove yourself.
Of course, I feel bad for what I did. I even tried to apologize to her, and I think she thinks that I'm trying to harass, and I'm not trying to do that. I wanted to apologize. I had no idea she was sitting with me. You know what I mean? She was up on stage singing,
Okay.
And
that's all I ask. Look, none of us are perfect. And I'm very far from perfect. You know that, right? I'm not trying to say that I'm like this perfect person, because I'm not.
Do you think?
But I do know I love my daughter with all my heart. She was my whole world.
Do you think Candace was involved?
Man, I wish you guys would get on that.
What about Grandma?
No. Man, she lost her daughter. And then 11 years later lost her granddaughter. She's broken hearted. I do wish there was a way that you guys could actually sit down and talk with them, but they've been through all this media crap before. Candace's mother, when Rosie went missing,
right?
All this shit happened 11 years ago.
She's muted.
That's why it's not that she hates you.
The driveway
it's that it's all this freaking crap. The same things happening all over again.
Yeah, I think that rumor, which I do think is a crazy rumor, about I don't know about her being buried under cement.
Yeah, I don't know who started that bullshit. That means I'd have to go order a concrete. I'd have to go to the concrete company and get a cement truck to come out and pour a footer somewhere without the builder's knowledge.
They're going to Rosemary Bly.
He's talking about.
And I don't have the money to get a fucking
Rosemary Bly, not
what do you
Summer.
call them? Whatever them trucks are called.
Oh no, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't
You know,
meaning.
that's like
I wasn't.
$1,500 a load. I don't know.
They,
Expensive as fuck.
honey,
I don't got the money to do that shit.
hon, I wasn't talking about Summer. I was talking about Rosemary Bly.
Oh, Rosie?
Yeah.
No, somebody, if you knew anything about the whole case, she was going to go meet some friends at a bar
Yeah.
or something, but they found her car like at a gas station.
Yeah.
I mean, her mom was up and around there somewhere, but she was far away, actually. Me and Candace at the time was living in Arkansas. And I didn't even talk to her. I've never seen her. But I know she was going to come down and help Candace do some things because she was really kind-hearted.
Mm-hmm.
Probably too kind-hearted. Trusted too many fucking assholes in this world.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no way that Rose would have left her 3 kids. There's no way. She loved her kids with all her heart. There's no freaking way.
Listen to me. I'm going to keep
Somebody
you. I'm going to ask you questions, and you
somebody
ask them
took
these
her.
questions. This is very important,
We haven't
okay?
seen her for
So
11
get
years,
them to
but I've
talk
never
about
met her.
Candace.
But I know she was really kind-hearted. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I know about her. She was really a good person.
Yeah.
And that's all I know about her. But I promise you, man, I promise you, somebody come up here and took my baby girl. I
Yeah.
promise you that. I mean, but there's no way I can prove anything. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm telling you that Candace has been crying for 6 months straight, every fucking day and every fucking night. You know how hard that is to put up with when I'm crying myself.
I don't know. She seems kind of cold to me, you know, and I can't shake that feeling. She just seems like she's very cold.
No, she seems like she's cold to you all because it seems, look, this is the way it seems to you all, because it seems like you guys are trying to come up here and interrogate and all this and that, but if you actually knew her, it wouldn't, you would, it's just a total misunderstanding, I promise you.
It's all about Andy. Get Andy to be able to do it.
That's the only reason I called you.
Yeah.
But I just feel in my heart it was just something just way off base.
Do you think Andy did it?
No, I think it's some sorry, low-life scum motherfucker. Probably some meth head. I don't.
So for many of you guys that just listened to that, I wanted to stop it here. She specifically asked, did Candy do it? Nah, you know, I don't think she did that. I think it was some low-life MFer, you know. Here he is questioning, you know, here he can't even come out and when he's asked a direct question whether he thinks that she did it or not, he does not adamantly say no. He does not adamantly say no. I don't, you know, I'm going to go back. Let's see if I can rewind. Let's listen to that again. Let's listen to that again.
It's all about Andy. Get Andy to be able to do it.
That's the only reason I called you.
Yeah.
But I just feel in my heart it was just something just way off base.
Do you think Andy did it?
No, I don't. I think it's some sorry, low-life scum motherfucker. Probably some meth head. We just don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. All we know.
Right out of his own mouth. Right out of his own mouth. Don't know. Don't know. You guys all heard it, right? This is not me putting words into Don Wells' mouth or putting words on the record. This is coming directly from Don Wells himself. Let's keep going.
someone come up here and took her. That's what we know for a fact.
What about that dude? That really weird dude, Jose. That weirdo, Jose. I don't like him.
Well,
I mean, he did live there.
He was dumped off here by Allie. Allie dumped that motherfucker off here. She's got like some family in New York or whatever, so Allie and Candace were all friends and shit, and everything was going fine. I was up in Utah. I was working up on Park City, on multi-million-dollar homes. I was fixing to go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
I bought a nice trailer. I built a truck, and I was fixing to go to work for billionaires. I done made phone calls and everything. That's where I was headed, for Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Real good job.
Yeah, those homes are crazy.
Well, Candace wanted me to come home, and she was trying to make me jealous and shit.
Why would she do that?
You know, huh?
Why would she do that?
Well, because she wanted me to come home.
Oh, I get it.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Oh.
But in my mind, man, it's big money. That's what I was thinking. You know, but money don't mean shit. But so anyway, I come back here. I got in a fight with Jose, whatever. They told him I had a real gun in my truck, which I didn't. Anyway, that's why I went to jail. They lied on me and said I hit Jose and I hit Candace, which I didn't.
No, I saw the report.
Right.
I saw it. I'm not going to lie to you.
They made it right. I was facing 10 years mandatory for having a felon in possession of a gun and shit. But so they put the burden of proof on me. I couldn't believe it. It's actually funny.
So many of you guys know we had not only received the incident report for that incident, we also received the audio of that incident. We could literally hear the kids screaming in the background. We could hear that there was an altercation going on that home, inside that home, by the evidence that we have obtained. Evidence being the audio from law enforcement as well. Sorry, I'm trying to find the incident card as we speak. Unlawful carry, here it is. So let me just read this to you of the altercation in which he is referring to right now. On October 14th, 2020, deputies were dispatched to 110 Ben Hill Road, Rogers, Tennessee, 37857 for a domestic with an assault. Upon turning on to 110 Ben Hill Road, I observed a white GMC Sonoma pulling onto Beach Creek Road. I turned on my floodlights on, revealing a man behind the wheel, to later be identified as Donald Wells. Deputies proceeded to the scene and spoke to the victim, Candace Bly, and two witnesses, Jose Roman and Candace Harrer. Bly stated her husband, Don Wells, left in a white GMC Sonoma. Shortly after, Deputy Winter advised that the white truck was coming back up the driveway. I heard family members begin to fear for his return and heard a member utter that there was a firearm in the vehicle. A felony stop was conducted in the driveway and Wells was detained. When detaining Wells, I observed a strong odor of alcoholic beverage coming from his person, and he was stumbling when he was picked up off the ground. Wells stated that there was a firearm in the truck, but it was a black powder pistol in the glove box. Wells went on to say that Bly was a felon from charges in Utah and has had some had something to drink tonight. Deputies Winter located the firearm in the vehicle. I spoke with Bly and witnesses about the assault. Bly stated that Wells came back home drunk, saw Jose in the house, and believed Bly was cheating on him, which she was. And so was Candace Harrer, her mother. It's disgusting. Allegedly, Wells, and how do we know that? Is because we have eyewitness testimony, i.e., Allie. Remember, Jose Raymond was Allie's boyfriend. So Allie and her boyfriend were over there. Candace started fooling around with Jose. Allie and her got into a fight. There's another incident report on that of Allie trying to get her kids off the property. So anyways, let's get on. Allegedly, Wells started arguing with Jose, and Wells began to struggle with Bly. Bly was pushed down, causing damage to her left knee. Bly and witnesses stated that Wells began punching himself in the face and then left. Wells was taken to Hawkins County Jail for booking. He was found guilty of these crimes.
Looking back, but so I had to hire.
He said he was in federal prison. When was he in federal prison? What was he in federal prison for?
But man, when I walked out of that courtroom, I'll tell you something. I mean, when they let me go out of the jail, when I walked out that door, someone was playing there, and I dropped to my knees. I said, "Sonia." She seen me, and she come running over to me, and I was on my knees, and I give her the biggest hug ever.
Aww.
I didn't think I'd ever see her again because, you know, like I've been trying to explain on YouTube and stuff, it's just so hard to explain because everybody takes everything the wrong way.
I know. Why haven't you? And the thing is you've been reaching out to the crappiest people, and it drives me. Actually, I like Ziggy. I do like Ziggy. I think Ziggy is
we've made huge
a good
mistakes.
girl.
Yes.
I think she's fair with you. She's very fair.
We turn to YouTubers for help to find Summer, and
but that's what we came here for. That's why I'm so confused. That's why I'm so angry.
All right.
You know?
I get it.
Yeah. So it's like, well, the thing that you had said, like just before, I never knew that you were in federal prison. When was that? I don't even know how I don't know that.
How did you know about that?
You just said that.
I just said that.
Yeah, you said that you were in federal prison. I was like, what?
Yeah, my fucking big mouth. God damn, I almost slapped the fuck out of myself.
It's all right. Don't worry.
No, it's not.
It's fine. I don't care.
No, it's not. I got a big mouth.
Don't worry. I'm
in trouble all the time.
No, it's. I don't know. I mean, like.
His big mouth gets him in trouble all the time. I think we can all agree with that statement.
Oh, shit.
Tell me what I can do.
When was he in federal prison?
How long ago was that?
Listen. Look at it like this, okay, if you will, please.
Sure.
Candace has been burned by thousands of fucking YouTubers and people. That's why she's so afraid of you guys. That's the only reason. She don't know you. Don't take it personal. She's scared to death because she's been burnt by all these people. And all these people have turned on us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the only reason. She don't know you. She can't. She's just going by what has happened. That's why she's so afraid.
Yeah.
I mean, our boys' lives, so to speak, we're getting our boys back and everything like that. I'm telling you, it was dangerous up here for a long time. We had all these psychics and shit coming up here. I had one guy come up here. I had to fucking fire a gun over his fucking head to get him to fucking leave. And they fucking run down the driveway and they got in their car and they started and stomped on the gas. They had to go down and turn around. So I jumped in the Subaru and I could have hit the side of the car. But I chased him down Beach Creek instead. I had TBI looking at who the fuck he was. And of course, he lied to them.
Right.
But they were up here on our property snooping around. But they lied to TBI, of course, told some other bullshit story. But the thing of it is, I was out there in the dark with my rifle watching them and listening. They couldn't see me, but I seen them.
Wow.
But they lied.
Wow.
Ask him about why when you were on my show the last time, you said that you had 7 alibars and
What's going to happen next? Plus all this crazy YouTube stuff going on and all this shit going on. I was literally losing my mind, and I didn't want my voice here.
Right.
I wanted Welper to take my kids out of here.
Well, I'll tell you.
I was afraid for their lives. I really was.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. We came down. I mean, it's just, you said something on my live. Do you remember when you came on the panel and, you know, Candace was, you know, I'm the dumb bitch, you know.
We're all dumb bitches. I am too.
I'm number one. I'm number one.
I'll go down there that road with you. I am too.
You're kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie.
I've done some dumb shit. I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
I'll take that.
You know what's been eating at me? And I'll tell you, it's the reason I came down here. It's, you said, I've got 7 alibis and this bitch has none. She's going down. Like, I can't get that out of my mind. Like,
well, I'm sorry about that. I was really just trying to kid around. I was pretty lit and drunk that night.
right.
But I was trying to kid around. I wasn't being serious.
No?
I really wasn't. But actually, I do kind of have like 7 alibis because there's like 7 coworkers that I talked to all that day, plus the, I don't know what you call that shit in the Subaru, plus my cell phone.
Who are the 7 people?
Please know where I was all day that day.
Were they like all work people?
Yeah.
Oh.
People. Actually, you met some of them the other day.
Yeah? Oh, those were the same people?
Some of the same crew that was out in the meadows that day.
What's the names?
Same people.
What's their names? I'm not, trust me, I don't have a pen and paper. It's fine. I don't care.
The same guy that come out there with his sister when you guys was out there. That's
okay.
the same crew that I talked to all that day. Plus, my boss was out there.
Yeah.
I fired Dudley the day before.
Why did you fire him?
Because he was, I'm telling you.
Keep asking, who are the 7 people?
I know you guys are all buddies and stuff now, but
I was uncomfortable. I have to admit, I was a little uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. I really was.
really?
No, I was just really uncomfortable. There's something about this whole thing that just, I'm definitely confused. I mean, so if he's definitely said, I remember him saying, yes, he's definitely one of your alibis. So if it's Dudley. Oh,
Dudley's not an alibi of mine at all.
Wait, he told us that you were at that house. There was 2 houses that you guys worked on.
Well, he's saying I owe $2,100. I hired him, and all he had to do was show up and work, you know, and he made 50%. I've never paid anybody 50%, but I wanted to give him incentive.
Get the alibis out of them. Anything. Just say, who are the people?
He had every opportunity right there, but he turned it down. He chose other paths. He started coming in with excuses why he wasn't there or whatever, and he started jumping.
Molly, you can keep interrupting him. He's drinking. Ask him who the alibis are.
I hired him and give him 50%, and he started all this crazy stuff, and I don't understand it. But he's been through every crew of Tucker Drywall, and they all got rid of me. When I hired him this time, I'm trying to think of a name to call him. But anyways, Mighty Mouse, we'll call him. His real name's, I can't say his real name because
we were talking to the
just in case you're
the
recording.
brother and the sister, and you can't remember their names.
We've had millions of people tell us they're not recording, and they are.
I remember talking. It was the brother and the sister, right? Yeah, they were totally sticking.
The brother and sister is the ones that met you up there. And y'all got in each other's face and stuff like that.
Oh, what was her name?
Her name is, I can't remember her name.
She was your aunt.
That's my buddy though, and that's his sister, and he loves her to death.
Right. Okay.
But,
yeah.
Dudley, and I give him every opportunity.
What's his name? He's gonna keep deflecting.
What's her brother's name? He did introduce himself. Like he was the one that screamed at me.
Camera and everything. He's on those on that news feed or whatever. He's a good guy, man. I talked to them all day that day until I got that phone call that Summer was missing. You know, and I drove like a bat out of hell to the house. I kept hoping I'd get that phone call. Well, we found her, but I never got that.
Wow. Who are the other ones?
Who?
The other alibis. The reason I keep asking you is because that is like the one question, if I could ever ask you, who were those alibis? Because that, when you said that at the end.
I really have all kinds of alibis, but I'm not trying to broadcast that or whatever. But I'm telling you, man.
Well, I won't broadcast it. I'm not going to broadcast it.
She loves her daughter. She loves her daughter with all her heart. That was our baby.
I know. I believe you, but, you know, Candace is a hard sell. You know what I mean?
Well, that's only because, okay, you got to figure, look, her mother has been to this shit 11 years ago.
So I'm going to tell you, we are coming up to the first set of jaw dropping. And I know we've heard this before because I believe it was Jonathan that posted some of this, but we are coming up to Don Wells saying some stuff about Wisconsin and Candace. So I just wanted to, we are coming up to it. It starts right around 21 minutes into this conversation. So just start listening very closely, because from 20 minutes down to about 40 minutes, so the next 20 minutes of conversations, we're going to be stopping periodically to discuss some of his statements. So just wanted to bring that to your attention.
And she has been backstabbed 1,000 times by people. At least.
Me too.
Right? I know you probably have. Yeah,
Every day. Every day.
I guarantee you have. I get that. I get that.
They're horrible to me, people.
It's horrible, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's a horrible feeling.
It is.
You feel like you're doing the right thing and this and that, and you get stabbed in the back. You know, I understand.
Get him to talk about that day.
I'm telling you, man, there's so many people that befriended Candace, and really they'd act like her best friend and everything like that, and then all of a sudden it's like, what'd you do with Summer? You know?
Wow, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
I never tried to be Candace's friend. I don't play like that.
She's been through this so many times, and she's been hurt so many times. I've seen her in tears so many times. She don't deserve it. She didn't do nothing wrong. She tried to be a good mother. She don't deserve this.
Why did her kids get taken away?
Why did the other kids get taken away, though? You know what I mean?
I wanted the welfare to take them out.
You did?
Yes, it was dangerous up here.
Oh, no, not that.
Her kids.
There was a gunfire.
No, her kids.
Bottom property. You know that shed he was in down the bottom property?
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Police were out of it. That weird.
Why was her kids taken away in Wisconsin?
This is a while back, so I can't remember. Oh my gosh, who were they? But I know guns were drawn, police were here. It's like that night, 3 in the morning. I don't know what woke me up, but I snuck out with my rifle and I fired a shot over that dude's head. And I guess it was him and his wife. They run down to their car, cranked the car, and just floored it. That's when I jumped in my Subaru. I chased them down Beach Creek. I mean, it's just been one thing after another. It was dangerous, you know. And here's the thing, Molly, and I'm not trying to blame you. I know you're trying to find answers. I commend you for that. Mm-hmm. But all this danger is starting up all over again.
Well, I
know you don't need to. It's all good. Okay?
Listen, I said I was very public. I said my intention was not to get him fired. Was I mad that, you know, there was invitations to talk to you, and I was legit gonna get in the car and go up there by myself without a camera, without a phone, and totally be cool. And then, you know, it changed.
I understand. Look, you've been through hell. We've definitely been through hell. Candace has been through hell. So, you know, you just got to look at it like that, okay? We've been stabbed in the back 100,000, I don't know how many times.
And you know what you just said earlier Where were Candace's kids taken away in Wisconsin?
Well, because her husband got it. Okay, this is all right. I hope her husband got involved in meth. Okay, and got real violent. And she was young then. She was young.
Mm-hmm.
Candace was very young. The welfare come out to take her kids. She pulled a shotgun on the caseworkers.
I didn't know.
Right from Donald Wells's mouth. Yes, you heard it correctly. Candace Wells, the people that they're trying to portray as non-violent, her husband got her addicted to meth. Clearly, she's still addicted to meth. Just had all of her teeth pulled out because she had meth mouth. And she actually pulled a gun. Now, mind you, we have reports of the child abuse, the pattern of child abuse perpetrated upon her first set of children. Everybody tries to say she did not abuse these children. If she did not abuse these children, explain to me why she never got them back in her custody. Explain that to me. Her daughter, Candace, from her first relationship, was homeless when she became 18. Homeless. Her children, every set of children that have come out of Candace Bly have had nothing but problems, lifelong problems from that woman. And here CPS is coming there to do the right thing, to remove these children from a drug-infested, sounds all too familiar, doesn't it? So it looks like things that happened 20 years ago are still happening to this day. Nothing has changed in that household. Just different kids and different man. And Candace pulls out a shotgun on the workers coming to get her kids. So let's go back.
Her husband got involved in meth, okay, and got real violent. And she was young then. She was young.
Mm-hmm.
Candace was very young. The welfare come out to take her kids. She pulled a shotgun on the caseworkers.
I didn't know that. Oh my God, she's gangsta. Holy shit.
She has a pretty bad record because of that.
Whoa.
You think about it, the mother trying to defend her kids.
Now he's trying to justify her actions as protecting her kids. She didn't protect her kids when they were getting beaten. She didn't protect her kids when she was beating them. She didn't protect her kids when they were doing drugs, using drugs, getting drunk every night, fighting, beating the crap out of each other. But now all of a sudden, when CPS is trying to remove them from the home where all this violence is taking place, she decides to pull a gun on the only people truly trying to help those children.
So, wow. She pulled out a shotgun to CPS?
Yes.
Wow. So that's probably one of the reasons why she got arrested. She didn't fire it, did she?
No, she didn't fire it.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Your husband's on meth. He's beating the fuck out of you. All this shit's going on, and the CPS comes and takes your 2 kids. What would you do? I mean, you know what I mean?
I wouldn't want to live anymore.
Right.
No,
Exactly.
I have no reason to live without my baby.
Thank you. I appreciate that comment.
You're not.
That's
you know
about
what?
where I'm at right now, to be honest with you.
So, are you thinking about hurting yourself, though?
No.
Because I have a feeling you are, and I don't want that. I don't want that.
Right? It's just gotten to be so much. It's just. But I understand the position you're in, and I don't want you to understand the position that Candace is in, and that I'm in. But I'm glad we're talking. That's cool. But yeah, we've been burnt 1,000 times over.
Other
I
questions
promise
can
you.
ask him. This is very important.
Oh my gosh.
And the only reason we turned to YouTubers was to help find someone.
What happened that day when he got the call? What time was it?
What time did I just like the whole living a nightmare? I can't imagine what it was like for you to get that call from Candace freaking out. What time did that happen?
I can't remember because, you know, what's really weird is when we went to Hawkins County Sheriff's Department, they wanted our phones.
Yeah.
So all three of us handed them our phones, and they erased the memory of our phones from 3:30 on.
So what we have here is him trying to justify why the phones were erased. All three phones were erased from 3:30 on. Every single one of the phones. Brandis's phones, Candace Bly's phone, and his Don Wells phone were erased from 3:30 to 6:30 that evening. He's trying to say, we're going to hear it a little further down, that his phone was actually... they received their phones back, which I found odd, because if you guys recall Hunter's interview with Chris McDonough, he says he had still not had his phone returned to him. Yet Candace, Brandis, and Don had their phones returned to them a couple days later. But he's trying to say that Hawkins County or TBI erased the history on their phone. I have not heard that from any other law enforcement of them, doing a deep dive in phones and erasing memory from the phones. I've never heard that before. Is it possible? Maybe. Probable? No. This is the first for me, I can honestly tell you. If anybody has ever had experience with law enforcement deleting the memory on their phone, I'd like to know about it, because this is the first that I have ever heard in all the cases that I have covered. I spoke to Jonathan Lee Riches, which has covered a heck of a lot more of these cases than I have. He's been covering cases like this for almost a decade now. And this is the first for me. I asked him, he's never heard of it before. To the best of my knowledge, this has never happened before. So it almost makes me want to infer that those phones were erased prior to them being turned into Hawkins County or TBI. Just saying. I think that's the reason why those phones were returned back to them so quickly, is because the information was deleted from the phones and they had to subpoena the records from the actual phone company. That is just my conclusion, my opinion, based upon this information. But did just want to stop it and give you some commentary, my thoughts on why this happened.
All three of us.
What?
Yeah, and I don't know why they did that. It's probably for the investigation.
Sure.
So I'm trying to remember, and I can't be for sure if it was like 5:40 or 6:40 or 5:30 or 6:30.
I think it was 6:40.
Because our private investigator wanted to know exactly for the timeline. Well, not only that, TBI wanted me to work over the timeline and make sure of every detail.
Right.
Candace was missing some things because she was so upset and she forgot, I've done a lot of laundry and then I fixed lunch. She left out just a couple details that fucked up the timeline.
Oh.
So TBI, I want Mr. TBI, okay. He said, sit down with your wife and make sure you got every detail because we can't get this right. I'm like, okay. So then we looked in all three of our phones, me, Candace's, and her mother, and all three of our phones were erased from 3:30 on June 15th.
Wow.
So we're not exactly sure of the timeline.
There was actually a text that said, little Macbeth saw a text that freaked him out. It said, it's done. I never understood that. And did you get that text?
I've heard about that a few times, but
yeah.
I don't understand where that come from or what the hell. I really don't. I have no idea. I got to listen to it, and then try to figure it out from there because as of right now, I have no clue.
What did the boys say they saw that day?
Sense. There's so much hype, so much bullshit. And that's just like Allie and Hunter. Y'all went over there and befriended Allie. And that's cool and all. But the thing with it is that I don't understand is we tried Candace tried this to be her friend. They were staying up here while I was in Utah, you know, and then there was a falling out over Jose or some shit.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She pretty much dumped him off here. That's when I come back from Utah. I done 120, 130 mile an hour all the way back, and I got a ticket to prove in Kansas.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing.
Right, that's okay.
You're...
No, he should have took my ass to jail, but I told him what was going on. It's like, oh man, damn, dude, I'm sorry. So he let me go.
Wow.
So I don't know.
Are you trying to move? Are you gonna
Do
move?
what?
Are you gonna move?
Move where? I don't know where to move to.
Wow.
I want to go back to Utah, and I
Do
want
you?
to go back
To work?
Jackson Hole, Wyoming, where the big money is. But
It's very expensive, yeah.
Kids. I gotta fight for my kids right here.
Yeah, you got to fight to get your kids back. You know what? I know that I have a feeling you were most closest to Josie, right?
I am really close to Josie, but I'm more close to Summer. Summer's my baby.
All right, so I'm totally like.
Yeah, I am really close to Josie. Yes.
Right. Like, did you ever like pull Josie? Did you ever? Right. But did you ever like have Josie in the car where you had him like one-on-one, and you're like, Josie, like, did you see anybody come up the mountain? Did you hear anything? Did you see anything?
I'm not supposed to talk about Josie or Wyatt, but they're both feel responsible because Summer wanted them to go downstairs and play with toys with them, and then neither one of them wanted to. They wanted to watch that Minecraft crap that was on TV. So they both feel responsible.
I want you guys to understand the details of what these boys were doing at the time have modified slightly throughout the progression of these stories. From the beginning of the story to now, they were watching Minecraft, and, you know, just a lot of inconsistencies with what the boys, you know, were doing. And there's even, I think at some point in this interview or conversation, we shall say, you know, he indicates, you know, that the boys should have been watching the girl. And I'm thinking, why is it that these children's responsibility to be watching their sister? It should be the parents' responsibility. It should be the adults' responsibility. There were 2 adults on top of that mountain and 4 children. Why were there no adults? You know, obviously Grandis on this particular day, June 15th, 2021, Grandis was out at the water hole. She was, you know, went to get some pills from, you know, the local doctor, you know, drove around, went to the grocery store, planted plants. But all of a sudden, Candace needs to go over to her mother's camper to fix her knee brace instead of her coming over to her daughter's place to fix her knee. None of this stuff makes sense. To the normal person, the way that this stuff is working out, none of it makes sense, you know, in my mind. You know, and not only that, but then you put to boot, this is other things that we found out from Don Wells and other eyewitness testimony. Again, evidence that there were over 21 dogs at the time. On June 15th, 2021, there were 21 dogs on that mountain. 21 dogs. You guys did not misunderstand what I am saying. 21 dogs. So you're talking about somebody that, again, nobody that lived in this house for decades. Remember, this was Don Wells' mom's home. Nobody knew of these supposed dog trails. So if the owners of this home knew nothing of these dog trails, how is somebody from the outside going to know about these dog trails? Then you've got to go through 21 dogs, go past Grandis, go past Candace, go past 3 boys, and find a little girl in this mess of a home that nobody knows where she's at, and snatch her, go back through 2 adults, back through 3 children, back through 21 dogs with this child not kicking, not screaming, you know. And I am just, I'm floored how this is the reason why law enforcement has come out publicly to say there's no evidence of an abduction. This is exactly why. I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Boys with them, and then neither one of them wanted to. They wanted to watch that Minecraft crap that was on TV. So they both feel responsible.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. All right, so they were distracted.
Yeah.
Mm.
And one time,
why do they feel responsible?
I hit the truck a few times, and I was just really down. And I said something, I don't know what I said to Josie. It probably wasn't something good. She says, Dad, it's not my fault. And I grabbed him up. I said, Josie, I know it's not your fault. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was just crying. I was like, I know it's not your fault, Josie. I know.
Why didn't like Candy? I'm sorry, I called her Candy. I'm sorry, but like, why didn't Candace take the boys swimming when she took Macbeth swimming?
She was always taking them swimming or someplace. I was always working, so I told Candace, just be a stay-at-home mom. You got a full-time job watching all these kids. That's cool. That's fine. I don't want them with some fucking babysitter, right? I want them with their mother. I was happy with that. That's how it should be, right? And so she was always doing stuff with them, and stuff. I mean, as you can see by all the pictures and video and stuff.
Well, I did comment about that. I said, this seems to be, I don't know, but my first impression was, I was like, oh, come on. I go, look at how much cool things they did. They went to water parks. They went this, they went that. I was like,
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't get to spend that kind of quality time with them because I'm always with them.
Hunter said that the boys went to work with him that day. Is that true?
Because they were with their mother. They were,
Did you know that Hunter Macbeth? He told he's saying that the boys went to work with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had Josie and Wyatt both. They can both do a little bit of drywall, and I paid them.
Really?
But for the most part, they would just go find a big dirt pile. And
the day Summer went missing.
And I cranked the music up on some old 70s rock.
Right.
Listen to,
Was the boy, when you went to work that day, Summer went missing, where's the boys at? Did the boys go to work with you?
Yeah, but
playing the dirt, big old dirt pile, and be happier than hell,
Right. It's so confusing because, with the two boys.
Man, there's a lot of shit going around on YouTube, that just.
I want out. I want to stop making videos about this. I want to move on. I really do.
Right.
The Josie.
Okay, cool.
What?
Well, why don't you let me holler at you tomorrow, and maybe we can be good.
In the shit.
Really reasonable.
Ask him.
I never really got to talk to you.
No, it's fine.
One like this.
No, we're cool. Well, I mean, I'm just confused, and I am on my way to head out. Two of the people are already gone that you saw with me. Two of them already left.
Right.
So now I'm never going to sleep again unless you tell me. Like, the boys were with you.
Are you leaving in the morning or what?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. What time?
God, pretty early. But I can stay. Do you want me to stay?
Maybe we can talk more on the phone. That'll be all right, too. I mean,
Okay. All right. Was the boys? All right. All right. I'm not going to be able to sleep unless you just tell me one thing. Are you?
Okay.
It's a crazy question, but I'm a crazy person. Were the boys with you at the house the day Summer went missing, or were they at the house?
No, they were all three upstairs watching Minecraft. And Summer asked them to please go downstairs with them and play with toys with her.
Mm.
They were all three of them had their phones and their games. They were watching Minecraft. We had a TV upstairs then.
So they weren't at that house you were working at.
No,
that day
they were at home.
Oh, because it's weird because you said that they were with you.
No, they weren't with me that day. They were at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
Yeah, they were here at home, and but they were all watching Minecraft on that damn.
Yeah, I believe that. I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that.
That's all they wanted to do. So Summer went downstairs by herself. That's the last time we seen her.
Yes, he did say that. She went downstairs by herself, and that's the last time we seen her. We seen her talking about him. Okay? I think that a lot of people, when they keep telling these stories, they make inconsistent statements. They make inconsistent statements, and then they have to backtrack. You're about to hear the backtrack. So to me, it sounds like he was there the day that she went missing. Okay? And he screwed up his words here. We're going to go back. He screwed up his words here. It's at the 34-minute, 17-second mark. He says, we. And then he realizes that came out of his mouth, and it's time for a correction.
I believe that. I definitely believe that. I definitely believe that.
That's all they wanted to do. So Summer went downstairs by herself. That's the last time we seen her. I believe my wife 100%. Like I said, I wasn't here. But I'm telling you, I know.
Why do you believe your wife? Why?
Why do you believe her? I mean, she's...
Like I say, she loved her. She went everywhere with her. I know how many tears and how every night how she cries and wants her back so bad, and just, it's heartbreaking.
I pray for the baby every single day. I kiss her picture.
Thank you.
I kiss her picture. I have a picture of her in my closet, and
thank you.
I pray to her and I say, please tell us where you are. I'm not here because I'm trying to I know I'm never going to be able to find this baby. I don't know if she was taken. I don't know if she's in another country. She could be in another country.
Right.
Yeah.
We got all those questions and answers on Benny Keys live.
I don't watch him. Yeah, I don't watch him.
We got questions from all over the world.
Yeah.
Her picture has been literally streamed all over the world.
That's why we love her so much.
Right, and we're going to keep trying to do that, all we can, but it just makes me think that somebody...
Did TBI give them their phones back?
Up somewhere.
Did TBI give the phones back?
What's that?
Did TBI give back the phones?
Does TBI what?
TBI give back the cell phones?
Oh, yeah, they just give them back 30 minutes later.
Oh, okay.
They downloaded something or something.
Yeah.
On phones or something, but I don't know why they erased our phones on June 15th from 3:15 on. I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
And trying to remember exactly when she called.
How do you know TBI erased it?
911, all that shit. Even the 911 calls, I think, if you check into it, it doesn't even tell the time. It's like they erased that and our phones and everything for some damn reason that I can't explain.
Oh, I actually know that. Because when we tried to get all the 911 calls and stuff from your address, and I did a video on it, and I was totally shocked. I didn't even read the stuff. I just went live. I wanted it to be natural. The stuff wasn't really that bad, I guess, in comparison to missing a child. But when we went to the records office, they were very nice. And they said that from June 15th on, we weren't getting our hands on nothing. And they won't tell us anything. Oh, yeah, I can't get anything. I can't even hear the 911 call that Candace made.
You're freaking kidding me.
No, I can't none of us can get that. No one.
You are kidding me. Oh, my God.
Why do you think TBI
What the
erased your stuff?
Going on, Doc?
Why do you think TBI erased your stuff? Downloaded it.
I'm wondering.
How do you know it was TBI that did it?
I'll tell you something. I'm going to tell you a little secret. I'm not supposed to tell nobody. And I can only tell you this to a point. There's some serious people here looking into some issues. I mean, some big.
So now you're hearing him tell us this ultra secret, right? Deflection. Again, more deflection. Now, yesterday we saw Paola Miranda-Rosa's sister. give us an interview and talk to us very, on the record, very matter of fact. You see the difference of somebody that's really trying to find their family member and somebody that is not trying to find their family member. If those that are tuning in have not seen that, I behoove you to go back. We kind of dovetail yesterday's live with Summer Wells, Paola Miranda-Rosa, and Summer Wells. We kind of, go back and forth, showing you the differences between body language, between somebody really trying to find family members, the actions that go into somebody that's really trying to find a family member versus somebody that does not want to. Okay. There is no deflection in her statements. Throughout this whole entire conversation, it's deflection, 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 deflection. Don Wells deflects. Don Wells wants to remove him and Candace from the situation. And that is what the problem has always been. He has worked so hard trying to cover their tracks that he has failed to even acknowledge Summer or, go out and search for her. Doing visuals is what we ascertain to a death. He did visuals week after week after week, but never got together huge search parties, huge search teams, never asked for the public's help to come out and search. He never stood neck and neck with law enforcement for help. He never coordinated with law enforcement. He never regularly called law enforcement to find out information. But now all of a sudden, he's got this secret of information that he can only tell Marissa in this conversation. He can't tell anybody else, just Marissa. Just Marissa. Again, this is the same man that told us to look into Dudley Ajan, which we did. He's the same person that told us to start looking at meth houses and meth people, which we did. Everything keeps circling back to the people on top of that mountain. I just want to make sure I clarify that. I'm going to go back just a little bit and we're going to start this over and just listen to the secret.
And I can only tell you this to a point. There's some serious people here looking into some issues. I mean, some big people.
You kind of hinted that to me a couple of. Go ahead, keep going.
That's all I can say.
So you think that this is much bigger?
Something is going on that we can't. That's way beyond our understanding.
Do you think it has something to do with the church?
No.
No?
Hell no. No.
Drugs?
No.
Sex trafficking? Like a mafia?
We don't know where Summer's at. All I know is something wasn't handled right. Okay, let's just go back to why did they erase our phones? Why is the 911 calls all erased or whatever? And you can't find nothing on that. That should be public record. Something ain't right.
Audio from the past 18 months.
So there's some high officials here. That's as far as I can tell.
They told us, I'll tell you secretly, they told us that they can't release anything from the past 18 months. It actually, I thought it was June 15th.
There's something fucked up. There's something not right.
Why did Candace fail a polygraph originally?
They should delete our phones. It don't make no sense.
Like they took your apps off? Or they just downloaded it?
Deleted on June 15th from 3:30 on.
Oh, so like messages or calls?
One day.
Okay.
Because all three of us looked at our phones that day for our private investigator.
Are you an iPhone guy or are you
that was my old phone. I have an iPhone now.
Oh, so you're an iPhone user. Okay. I wanted to I was like, are you a iPhone or the other one?
Well, my other one was a Samsung.
Okay. That's
a new cell tower up here for AT&T, so we all got AT&T phones now.
Yeah, there's nothing up there. You can't, nothing.
Well, I'm glad I got to talk to you. I'll tell you what, man. Let's talk some more, okay?
Okay.
All right, man. I'll just try to land.
Keep them on.
I know y'all are real passionate.
Yeah, we are.
I understand why. But all this freaking YouTube shit is so fucking crazy.
I hate it. It's too much for me.
All our heads so fucked up.
It's got mine too.
Me too. And I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay?
Look at
that. I'm not no better than you. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
like,
yeah, I apologize for all this bullshit.
you,
You know, it's just people are freaking nuts, you know, and I don't want you to be in that category, okay? And I
I
don't
know.
want to be in that category.
How do you know that TBI was the one that erased the phone stuff?
Actually, it was Hawkins County.
Oh, it's okay.
TBI. Well,
Why do you think they did that, and how do you know it was them?
Actually.
Why do you think that?
They just wanted our phones, and you know, when Summer first came up missing, we were just complying with everything that they asked. Okay, you want our phones? You want this? You want that? They tore our house apart multiple times. Come in here and turn everything upside down. We try to clean it up some and everything like that. They come back in with other search teams and forensics and shit, and they dump everything upside down again. Man, we just fucking give up.
You heard him correctly. They tried cleaning up the house. They didn't try cleaning up the house before Summer went missing, but they sure did try cleaning up the house after she left. Just thought I'd bring that to your attention as well.
We try to clean it up some and everything like that. And they come back in with other search teams and forensics and shit, and they dump everything upside down again. Man, we just fucking give up. It's like we can't keep our house together.
Yeah. So, like, did you freak out and, like, were you angry that, like, did you get suspicious that, like, when Candace failed the polygraph the first time, like, did you, like...
Candace did not fail the polygraph.
Oh, she didn't?
No, ma'am.
Oh.
No. Okay, when all this first went down, okay, me and her hasn't had no sleep for, like, 2 days. We're freaking out.
Right. Oh,
I'm up late at night. I didn't know where to turn, so the first thing I did, like an idiot, is I turned to Facebook. I opened a Facebook account. I've never had a Facebook account. I turned to Facebook and YouTube because I thought that was the most powerful tool to find Summer. That was my thought. Well, little did I know, never had any dealings with these kind of people in my life, you know. So it just turned, and immediately I had 2,500 friends on Facebook. You know, and I'm thinking, and these, you know, it's like Chris McDonough.
Yeah.
Comes out, oh yeah, we're gonna find your daughter. That fucking sorry piece of shit. All he gave a fuck about was his motherfucking YouTube channel and his fucking all that money he made off my daughter.
Oh my gosh.
But you know, you can see how it just turned into a serious nightmare, and they exploited every fucking inch of us.
I have to say that as far as exploitation, I am not down with that. Let me tell you something. I am not here to, I'm realistic. I know that I'm never going to be able to find Summer, but I have to know because it drives me crazy because I'm just so suspicious of, I'm sorry, but I have to be honest. I'm so suspicious of Candace that it drives me crazy. It just drives me nuts. And I don't want to be disrespectful to you. I know she's your wife.
Look at it like this, okay? It's not only Summer. There's a lot of missing kids. There's something serious going on in our country. And I think it could be Korea, North.
Yes, you heard him correctly. It's not about Summer. There's a lot of kids going missing. Again, most parents would keep the focus on their child. They wouldn't be trying to refocus the conversation to other children. They just wouldn't. So, here we have a lot of information from him. He explains what happened in Wisconsin. He explains the violent tendencies that Candace expressed back in those days. He talks about meth and alcohol from her 20 so years ago. And those things are still happening to this day. To this day, those tendencies, there's still violence on top of that mountain. These kids, we went over the CPS guidelines for negligence and charges to take children from their home. And the majority of these have been checked off for the Wells home. So for this to have waited this long for action to be taken, action could have been taken a long time ago. We talked about Hawkins County and TBI and the information, eyewitness testimony and evidence that they actually have in their possession, custody, and control right now. that could have these people locked up, and they have chosen not to do that. You look at Georgia Bureau of Investigation with a similar scenario with a 4-year-old little boy that went missing, and they arrested the mother immediately. And guess what? They found the child immediately after arrest. Literally, then next day, they found the child's body. This is the difference in states that you live in and how they conduct themselves. This to me is crazy. TBI needs to do better. TBI has everything, folks. I'm telling you right now, TBI has everything they need to arrest these parents right now. They don't have enough. They may even have enough to arrest them on her disappearance, to be honest with you. They were you heard Don say the last time we saw her was when she was going downstairs to play. We, including himself. His story does not make sense. His story and inconsistencies, the story keeps changing. There's so many inconsistencies. It's like every time they tell the story, they realize the hole and they try to fill that hole, but then they don't realize how it makes the other portion of their story inconsistent. We've watched this play out for almost 8 months. TBI is still playing around with these folks. Hawkins County is still not holding these people accountable. They were just there. Hawkins County, it goes to this house so much that it makes you wonder what is going on here. It really does. And for CBS or DCS just to be now involved right before Summer disappeared, it does give the illusion that something was going on in that home. Why Summer? Why was it Summer that disappeared? Why weren't the boys? I mean, these are questions I have. Why weren't the boys with mom? Why were they home alone? Why were the boys home alone? Why did she tell, Hunter and Allie that they were going fishing, yet there was no fishing poles in the vehicle? Why was Summer put in a sweatsuit in the middle of summer? In the heat, in Tennessee heat? As Chris McDonough had explained, Tennessee hot, right? None of this stuff makes sense. None of it. The story keeps changing. There's a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of holes. I keep wondering why Hawkins County is not arresting these folks for their current crimes, of domestic violence. The probation officer knows that he's constantly violating his probation, but since he's already got a VOP, he's not willing to do any more. He should be arrested each and every time he violates probation, and that is the gentleman. What is his name? Danny Henry. Danny Henry, why aren't you doing your job? Ronnie Lawson, why aren't you doing your job? TBI, why aren't you doing your job? DCS, why aren't you doing your job? These are the questions that I have. What happened to the records of the phone? If you can't allude to what's on the phone, can you tell us that whether you guys were responsible for deleting the phones or whether they were? Another issue that I have is that Don Wells, why Don and Candace are still able to be on top of that mountain. Okay, why everybody? Now we've got Chris McDonough, a career investigator. He worked for law enforcement. He is retired law enforcement. He has said from out the gate something happened. Well, I don't know if he said it out the gate. I know later when he started, he put out the interview and didn't really discuss it too much. Maybe he did. I wasn't watching him at that time. Didn't even really know who he was at the time. And, he started going through step by step of that interview. And he was like, look, there's some PTSD type symptoms that Candace is expressing at the waterhole. We all know that Hunter has never been the same since that day. These are telltale signs. This is evidence, folks. This is evidence of something happening. Whether people want to acknowledge that or not, that's not my problem. Where's the evidence? The evidence is all of this. All of this is the evidence. Eyewitness testimony is evidence. behavior is evidence. Past behavior is evidence. It can all be used. All of it. What the law enforcement found on that day is evidence. That house in disarray, the deplorable conditions, not having doors on the bathroom, that's evidence of abuse, neglect, endangerment. The kind of stuff that's in and around that house, abandoned vehicles, that abandoned bus, that's environmental negligence. That's evidence. These children were in deplorable conditions, fending for themselves, not being properly nutritioned. Again, evidence of neglect. Evidence, 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 evidence. So on Evil Exists, so many of you guys know, they did some, I like the work that Evil Exists does, keeps the face off, keeps the voice, nobody knows if it's a he or she or anything like that. Does small clips, very knowledgeable clips, very thoughtful when preparing the clips. And so Dawn Wells, it was the one where she wrote Dawn Wells interview red flags. Candace was on one side of the house when Summer got gone. That was his own words in another interview. Candace was on the other side of the house. So again, inconsistent statements. We are hearing that she was not on the other side of the house. She was in fact at Brandis's camper helping her with a knee brace. But in one of the very first interviews, he alludes that Candace was on one side of the house when Summer got gone. His words exactly. I believe it was at the 3-minute, 59-second mark, right around there to the 4 or 5 minute mark. If you guys want to go there, it's Evil Exists. Dawn Wells interview, red flags, I think was in the title. I behoove you guys to go over there and check it out. That is in his own voice. You can hear the inconsistent statements made in that interview versus this interview. This, again, is evidence. I want to express that. For those tuning in, if you like this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm sorry for those that are newly subscribed. You are not able to comment for 5 hours. So that means if you subscribe today, you can comment tomorrow. We would, if you have questions that you didn't get an opportunity to ask here today, I'm happy to answer those questions for you related to this case tomorrow. I promised you guys this was the video I wanted to play for you guys yesterday. I was not able to because I was having technical issues. I'm still having some technical issues. I'm working off 2 computers right now because, I can't figure out. I'm not a Mac person. I'm learning. I'm going to be an expert soon enough. I promise. We're going to all be running off of one computer, this new computer. That is wonderful. I love it. It's been amazing. As you know, we are not dropping in the middle of our lives anymore. It's been great. It's as many of you guys know, we are working. We have several cases that we're still actively pursuing. Kylan Schulte and Crystal Turner. Those were two people that were senselessly murdered. They were recently married together. They were a lesbian couple, LGBTQ couple that was gunned down viciously and violently at their campsite. They were part of the van life community. We're still looking for any and all videos and photos from August 10th to August 18th, 2021. Anybody that knows anybody in the LaSalle Mountain Loop or in the Moab, Utah area during that time frame, we are asking you to please reach out to them and see if they have any videos or photos of that time. We don't want them to go through them and look at them. We just want them to turn them in. Law enforcement knows what they're looking for. So this day and age of electronics, GoPros, videos, phones, car, videos, the mounts on the cars that videotape. A lot of people have upgraded their technology. Unfortunately, in the Moab area, it's like going back 30 years. I mean, they still have, I think, the only Radio Shack that exists in the United States. They have still payphones out there. There is no upgraded services out there whatsoever, which is a shame. So there are, we are also looking for a crazed person that may have had a right black eye, scratches on their face, that they may have contributed to falling or getting in bushes or doing yard work. We're looking for anybody in that area that had some facial or upper body trauma to them. We are also working the Summer Wells case. We're trying to still find information, evidence, and applying pressure to law enforcement to do the right thing, because it's the right thing to do. And we are Kylan Knapp and Kathleen Moore. He's been arrested, obviously. The case is far from over. Once they have the arrest, the case actually just begins. We are still monitoring that case. And now we have 2 missing people in the state of Florida. Ruth, aka Edie Sakala, has been missing. She's been missing since December 15th in the Newport Richey area in Pasco County. She has not been seen. She left her house one day to go to the park and has never been seen again. And then we've recently taken on Paola Miranda-Rosa's case, and we are out in the swamps looking for her. I will be going live from the swamps this week, the rest of this week, if I have internet. For those that, if I don't, we're not going to have coffee club at coffee club hours. Please stay tuned. Set your notification bell so we can bring the information and bring you our live search out in the field. For those that want to help sponsor this search, please do so. You can do it by a multitude of ways. Down below is a scroll that gives you my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. PayPal, I try to designate purely for our wish list items. However, if you do put on their search or something, I will apply it to gas, lodging or something like that if you choose to do so. In here, you guys can do super chats and super stickers that help the team, help me. And then, of course, we have Bullhorn Betty merchandise line. For those that want to contribute to our cause, to the work that we do, you can do so. If you want to become a monthly sponsor, we have membership options available on a monthly level. I know many people have reached out to me for me to set up Patreon. They want to go on a little bit of a different level of commitment to the team. I have not yet pulled the trigger on that. I haven't had the time, quite frankly. So hopefully one of these days I will get that set up for those that want to be Patreon members. This was a really good meeting this morning, folks. I really enjoy being with each and every one of you. I love, building this channel. I love bringing the news to you. I love bringing you factual information, and I love bringing you my opinion. We are just trying to keep this channel drama-free. If you guys like drama, there's a host of other channels that will provide you that drama that you need and crave. This is not the channel. So I want to thank everybody that tuned in. If you do like the work we do, please like, share, and subscribe this channel. For this video, like it. We work hard. This takes a lot of time to set up. This takes a lot of research that I do after these lights go off. We are constantly working to bring you guys new information, never been seen before footage. I've got tons of stuff I was going through my files, and I've got tons of stuff from Kylan, Schulte, and Crystal Turner that has never been released. So I might be releasing some of that here in the near future for you guys to take a look at. I have a lot of, Gabby Petito's case rocked the entire world. And I've got never released footage from behind the scenes of that case as well that we will be releasing slowly but surely. Summer Wells, we have so much content from Summer Wells that has not yet been seen or released to you guys. So we are going to be rolling some of that stuff out. I just got to look at it. I've got to watch it. Some of these videos are an hour long video. I've got to make sure that there's not incriminating evidence in there. that law enforcement does not want released. So it's just taking a little more time to process because we are always on the go, 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 go. At any rate, I just want to thank you. I know we had a super chat or super sticker. I didn't have an opportunity to put that live on here because I had to keep my trigger warning up, but I did want to thank the person that did contribute through here. Oh, here we go. I just found you. Thank you, Michelle, for that contribution. We appreciate all the support that we get here at the Bullhorn Betty channel. You guys have been amazing. Come back tomorrow. We are going to be searching. You guys want to see what we do. You know, it's not all about, I mean, to be honest with you, the Bullhorn is the last resort, right? It is the last resort. We do so much more. I mean, my Bullhorn Betty is just a name. It's not it is an identity, so to speak, but we do so much more. We do, interviews. We do investigative journalism. We actually go out and help the victims and their victims' families, in most cases, help find and search for these people. We get together and coordinate searches ourselves. We bring other people in to the search. So we're very blessed that we have multi-talents that we bring to these cases and help with. So if you guys love the work we do, please support this channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please don't keep this channel a secret, and we will keep bringing you guys good information and good content. We do love Summer Wells. We believe in Summer Wells Army, and we are looking to take that army to help other people that need our help, all of our help. You guys are part of the team as well. So with that, without further ado, we are at the top of 2.5 hours. I love each and every one of you. I want you guys to make it a great Wednesday, hump day, and let's rock it out for the rest of the week. We get into the slide to the weekend. So I'm going to be playing with some different times for this channel that might work better for people. Just keep lines of communication with me open as this time's better, this day's better, because the idea that I can do 7 days a week, I'll try, but we work awfully hard. A lot of the stuff that we work on is not in front of the cameras, unfortunately. So we just know that we are working very hard for these victims and these victims' families in most cases. I have to say in most cases now, and consistently say that, specifically because of the Summer Wells case. To see these parents never really lift a finger to help in the aid of finding their own daughter. They very rarely have contact with law enforcement. They very rarely reach out to law enforcement. And then you have somebody like Paola Miranda-Rosa's family, which is constantly reaching out to law enforcement, constantly begging for updates, constantly, making sure that she doesn't go to the bottom of the list. And then you have dead silence on the Wells side. It is despicable to me. It's deplorable. And it's sad. At the end of the day, it's sad. So without further ado, never mind. I forgot. Before we go, I do have some people that I wanted to make sure that we bring light to. There we go. Okay. Bringing others. Oops. As many of you know, this is what I was talking about. It's all complicit, ignores multiple opportunities to arrest, separate Don Wells, Candace Fly. What are you protecting? TBI. If your case is bigger, you might want to act a little faster. So there's that. We have, open this up. I'm going to get this full screen. There we go. Here is another missing person alert that is out. It's Ariana. Her mother, Nicole, were reported missing April 5th, 2016. Nicole's body was found 3 days later. Ariana hasn't been seen since February 16th in 2021. The police have released an age progression photo of Ariana. $100,000 reward is remaining. So it sounds like somebody killed the mom. and the daughter is still missing. We don't know what happened to her. If anybody has any information or was in this area, Oakland, California, at this time, please reach out to 1-800-THE-LOSS. We are still looking for this young child. We don't know what happened to her. She could still be out there. She could truly be a sex trafficked victim. We don't know. We need to help find her, and any kind of information we can bring to help with this case, we definitely want to. There is $100,000 reward for any information leading to Ariana or the perpetrators. Please take a look at that beautiful, beautiful face. And here's another one. Matthew Barrera, Wheaton, Illinois. He has been missing since right before Christmas. He was last seen at his residence on Cree Lane. His Moab is also missing. He has large gauges in his ears and several tattoos. His age is 29. Brown hair, brown eyes, 5'10", 210 pounds. Anybody with any information related to this missing gentleman, you're asked to call the DuPage County Sheriff at 630-407-2400. I know we have several people that have been bringing to my attention other cases. Let's blow up Bullhorn Betty. I will start downloading them and start showcasing them on this channel at the end. So people that would like to help, if they have any information, can get some information and bring to light missing people in and around this country. We don't know what is going on, but certainly something is going on. Missing people are becoming more and more prevalent, and it's like they're almost being sucked off the face of the earth. So we want to do everything we can here at the Bullhorn Betty channel to help these families and help these folks that are missing, and hopefully bring them home safe. As many of you know, my goal this year is to bring someone home safe. If I can bring somebody home alive and safe, I will have achieved my goal for the year. Thank you guys. God bless you, and have a great rest of your week.